Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. Today we are going to talk about believing that you are powerless so then you become powerless. What do I mean by this? We have a tendency to believe we are powerless over everything. Now, I've talked in many videos before that you can only control what you say, what you do, what you think. You cannot control your significant other, your children, your in-laws, your boss, the government. You cannot bully somebody into doing what you want them to do, whether your intentions are good or not. But with that, then people get this idea that they are completely powerless, and you're not. So let's say you have a significant other that's not treating you well, putting their hands on you, being unfaithful, just being not a great person. People stay in those situations, and we've talked about this. There's many reasons why people stay in situations like that. But people will stay because it's like, well, I can't make them stop cheating. I can't make them do X, Y, and Z. And you're right. But you are not powerless. You can make a decision to not be a part of that anymore. You can make a decision to get a divorce. You can make a decision to press charges. You have power. You can make decisions based off other people's inappropriate or bad choices. I know I've been in situations before where I straight up told a significant other, you are making decisions that are going to cause me to make decisions that affect my life and our relationship because X, Y, Z. And of course they didn't like hearing that, but I'm like, this and this and this or whatever it is not acceptable, and I'm not having it. They continue to make their choices, and then you have to make yours. As far as political things, you can choose to vote, you can choose to write letters, you can choose to protest, you can, those are things. You are not powerless. Now, granted, if you're the only person in the country that you live in that believes that, then is there going to be actual change? No. If people keep putting their head in the sand, or if people really feel the way that you feel and they don't do anything, is there going to be change? No. But you tried to make a difference. You see that there's something in your community that is broken, that needs to be fixed or remedied, whether it's an unhoused situation or the park is really unsafe or whatever it is. You can join organizations to make those situations better. Instead of just saying, you know what, that park is really sketchy, so I can't take my kids there. There's nothing I can do. Well, have you contacted the police? Have you contacted your local representatives? Have you seen if there's a clean up the park initiative? Have you started a clean up the park initiative? Have you gone on social media and instead of just scrolling, started making posts about, hey, this Saturday we're all going to clean up this park and we're going to band together? So you do have power. You just have to use it. Now, a big pet peeve of mine is when somebody doesn't want to do something for whatever reason. They don't want to put the effort in. They honestly don't know what to do. They're afraid, whatever it might be. And they're just like, God's in control. He's going to handle that. He's going to handle them. And whether you are a believer or not, this information is still for you, because even if you're not a believer, but let's say you're an atheist, agnostic, whatever religion you guys might be, people will say the universe will handle this, karma will handle this, whatever it is that you believe in. And I believe that 100%. Like, I've said that in videos before. Like, my creators got me. I know I'm good. And that gives me solace. But at the same time, if that's your answer to every situation that there's adversity, or every situation where you genuinely could do something, you're making the situation worse, and you're complying with the inappropriate things. Do you know, I don't know if that's going to make sense for some of you, because maybe you're not at that level yet where you're like, okay, like, what situations do I genuinely have zero control over? Like, there's nothing I could do, accepting it and trying to have peace with that. And what are the situations where you genuinely could 100% ratify that situation, or partially ratify that situation, or join a group that can help ratify that situation? Do you know what I mean? And you have to be able to know the differences. And a lot of people, unfortunately, do not know the difference. Most people think that they are 100% powerless to everything. And I believe within myself, I have the power to 100% change not only myself, like my projection of my life, but what's going on in my community, what's going on in my country. Like, I have that power within me, and so do each and every one of you, but you have to believe it. So if you're just saying that somebody else will handle it, whether it's your higher power or your spiritual belief or your representative or your husband or your daddy or, you know, whoever, like, there becomes a point where it's like, okay, but what are you going to handle? Because obviously the situation is affecting your peace of mind, your life, and the lives of the people that you care about. So stop believing that you are powerless over everything. Okay, like, I have zero control over whether it rains tomorrow, whether it snows tomorrow, whether it's 200 degrees outside. I have zero control over that. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, I'm at peace with that. But there's some sort of shenanigans going on that you could remedy, and you have the ability to, and then you don't, and you just, and also some people just want to complain. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you how many situations I've seen where I'm like, yeah, but you could, you know, if we're talking about personal stuff, you could join Weight Watchers. You could make a budget. You could go to couples counseling. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, no. Like, you know, so, you know, you have the power to make changes. You have the power to make things happen. It is 100% important to know the things that you have no power over. But it is also really important to know the things that you do. And if it's bothering you enough that you're not sleeping, or you're constantly stressed out about it, or you're constantly like talking about it, then maybe it's time to sit down and say, like, what could I do? And for some of those situations, you're going to have to recognize, like, there is nothing I can do about that. And then other situations, it's like, okay, well, I could sign that petition, and I could go and do this and this and this and this, and then go and do it. That doesn't mean the situation's going to be 100% ratified the next day, but at least you did something. So stop believing that you are powerless over every situation, and believe the power that's within you, that's within all of us. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and until next time, bye.